13. Good morning. It's 5:36 a.m. I'm finding that a flat slab of junk mail dropped in the mail slot created by too hot logs can sometimes get an unwilling fire to take the next step. Or try one of those enclosures for light bulbs. Slide that easy flammability into the spot where you wish the fire to move. This morning when I woke up, I peed, and then inexplicably, I got back in bed and lay there for a while thinking about driving a speedboat off the watery edge of the world. It seemed to me as I lay there awake that the world was indeed flat, and as I reached the edge of it and saw the enormous glossy curve of ocean turn the corner and fall away, I sped up. It was like going over Niagara Falls in a barrel. My boat began falling, and as it fell, it turned, but I held onto the steering wheel so as not to become separated from it. I fell towards a region of mists that I thought was the bottom, and I prepared to be dashed to pieces on the rocks, but no, I had fallen off the edge of the flat world. And the world was fairly thick. I was passing through the mists into a region that smelled like a salty shower where the ocean began to pour past the inner molten earth sandwich. The steam dried away finally, and I tumbled past a cross-section of semi-plastic moltenness. And then as I kept falling, I blew through the mists again, which cooled my hull, and I rose up past another waterfall that mirrored the one over which I had fallen. And then the bow of my boat, its progress slowing, reached a turning point about 20 feet in the air, and I fell down with a slap on the gray, choppy ocean on the other side of the earth. Fighting the waters there that wanted to push me back off, I drove the boat to shore. Everything was more or less normal, and I ate at a Bickford's and left a generous tip, but I wanted to go home to the real side of the earth, the side I was born on, and the phone system on the underside where I was didn't reach through to the other side. So after a night in a motel, I drove my boat back out to the edge of the ocean and hurled myself and my boat back out into the void, far enough that with the stars at my back, I had a good view of the cataract falling off into the lava layers. And then, like an adept skateboarder, I flipped up the stern of my boat at the point of highest rising and slap landed neatly back in our ocean. I was home in a few hours. That's what I lay there thinking about. Then I got up and came down here and made the coffee. Sometimes when I imagine driving off the end of the earth, it isn't a subject I take up every day, but it does recur. I consider what it would be like to go out for a little stroll in the direction of the setting sun and then trip on a rock. And oh heavens, I've fallen off a cliff. And then as I fall, I look around. Wait, this is not just any cliff. I seem to have fallen off the edge of the flat earth. In my descent, I try to keep my wits about me and look downward where I'm falling. And there I see coming towards me a huge burning dome of fusion, the sun. Yes, indeed, I'm falling towards the sun, which when it sets goes down here past the edge of the world for the night and rests, keeping the lava bubbly near the middle of things. Fortunately, I've got my magical sunglasses on so that when I plunge into the sun, which roars like a locomotive, it isn't too bad on the eyes, and then I'm squirted out again and I fall, i.e. rise past rocks and roots until I'm almost at the edge of the underworld. And there I grab a root and hang on, dangling, and pull myself up so that my chin is over the edge, and I have a brief chance to survey its features. It is a grassy place with some trees and a new housing development going up, each house with a large pseudo-Palladian window over the front door. And then the root gives way and I tumble away back through the set sun. Down once again becomes up, and I'm back on the grassy verge where I begin my walk.